Hi peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. How are you? I hope you're well. We had our wedding. It was the most beautiful, magical, spectacular 2 days because we had a 2-day thing. Yes, best of both worlds. Yes, Hannah Montana. It was stunning. It was all things right. I'm so excited to share so much with you. This morning I was actually sorting out my content plan. I'm pretty sure I have like the next month just littered with wedding content. Don't worry if you enjoy just the normal scheduling. I've popped in our normal content as well in between. So you're gonna get smacked with both in a loving way. The reason I can't share all the wedding content with you right now is because we don't have the professional photos and videos back yet. So today I thought we'd do our traditional content with a wedding spin. We're diving into the assholes again, but this time a bridezilla edition to see if some people are asking for advice are indeed assholes, and in this case synonymous with bridezillas or not. I remember, friends, be kind. We do these Am I the Asshole dives because we can learn so much from the storytelling of others and just a little bit fun in it. Also, excuse my voice, I partied way too hard over our wedding. Jamie and I also just went to a concert and Tally's Farm's press night. It's just amounted to a week of a lot of screaming, and so I have lost my voice. Shall we get on with it then? Shall we dive deep into these bridezilla assholes? Sorry, just before we do, I did ask my wonderful members if they'd like to contribute any, and so some of these posts seen today have been provided by the Peaches, who are members of the Shaaba channel and have a backstage pass. If you want to find out what all of that's about, you can take a look at the little join button somewhere down there. But for now, thank you very much, members. I appreciate you. Mwah! All right, let's see. Am I the asshole for leaving before my sister's wedding ceremony started and leaving someone else in charge of my responsibility? Okay, I feel a lot better qualified now that I am married to help provide advice. My sister got married on Friday. She and I are twins, so we're very close and best friends. This is adorable. She's child-free and I have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Obviously she loves her nephews. She never mistreated them, but she's not a person who would accept being a babysitter for a day. She's never offered to help with anything, though it's her choice and I respect it. Maybe some people just not into kids? Fair. Not surprisingly, her marriage was child-free, even for the family. She asked me to be her maid of honour, and I accepted. Totally fine, I'm not going to judge you for doing what you want for weddings. Just personally, I love kids so much, and I think kids just add to the ambience of an event. I have a niece and nephew. I couldn't imagine not having their presence over the wedding. They're just so cute. Little baby Rupert too. Oh my goodness. Oh. I was responsible for a few things at the ceremony and party, nothing complex, but I asked another bridesmaid for help, so she was also on top of everything. Also reminding myself that there's 3 sides to every story, yours, theirs, and the truth. And being a maid of honour and saying that you weren't responsible for a lot of things, I don't know, like that doesn't quite compute, so I'm just like, question mark right there. My children stayed with my in-laws whilst my husband and I went to the wedding. About 10 minutes before everything started, I was there for 2 hours. My in-laws called saying that my youngest hit his head while playing with my oldest and that they were taking him to the hospital. Oh. I despaired. Even though they said he was conscious, my heart was not at peace, nor my husband's, so we decided to go to the hospital. 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Taking a 1-year-old to the hospital, that's stressful, babe. Go to the hospital. I talked to the bridesmaid and explained everything I had to do. She accepted, and when it was time to talk to my sister, she had a meltdown saying that I couldn't go at the most important moment in her life, and if I was choosing him instead of her. I got really irritated and said, yes, I choose my son in the hospital. I left with her cursing me. Oh no, this has gone so horribly wrong. I'm so sorry that this has happened. Just on this moment, before we read further, yeah, I get it. A wedding is so important, right? Like it's supposed to be the most important day of your life. I call bull on that, by the way. It's a beautiful day, but there's so much pressure for it to be the most important day of your life, the happiest day of your life. Like, no, it can be a happy day in your repertoire of happy days. But you can't lose sight from what's really important. We had a couple guests pull out last minute, some for really nasty reasons that were incredibly frustrating and annoying, and basically just stabbing us in the back because they didn't like our relationship. For some reason still RSVP'd yes, and then RSVP'd no at the last minute, where we also lost a lot of money. But there are also some guests who last minute pulled out for very legitimate reasons, and if it's to do with health or sadness, you do you, babe. Like, you don't have to come to someone's wedding. If my child, a 1-year-old, was being taken to the hospital because of a hit on the head, like, that's way more important than attending a party. Do you see what I mean? Like, I would be like, go. Hopefully he can come back. Hopefully he's fine. Hopefully he can come back and help celebrate, but go for now. Let's see the rest. My son is fine, but he got 2 stitches without any internal trauma. They did exams, but we only left the hospital the other day because they preferred to put him under observation because he's very young. Aww. When I got home, there were several calls from different people. I answered when I saw my sisters. She asked before how my son was, and when she learnt that it was a minor injury, she started screaming, saying that I abandoned her at the most important moment in her life, and that she was without a family in her own marriage, no parents or grandparents. I left my responsibilities to a person who did everything wrong and caused an embarrassment, and to make matters worse, I didn't even want to show up, since my husband could stay in the hospital, whilst I would at least share this moment with her. She called me several names until my husband took the cell phone out of my hand and told her to F off. I really could have at least gone to the party, but I wasn't going to make it knowing my baby's in the hospital. I can't help but feel bad for my sister. Am I the asshole? Okay, what do you think? Let me know downstairs in the description box. By the way, shout out to my henna, which is fading. So sad. Let's unpack that. It is not your fault that the bridesmaid that you gave your responsibilities to did a bad job at stuff. You shouldn't feel guilty for that. Knowing how close you guys are, you're twins, best friends, and there was no other family from your sister's side. If it were me, after learning that he was okay, because there were like exams and stuff, right? And knowing that my husband was there, I would probably have gone back to the party. Like minor injuries, under observation, and in my husband's safe hands. But are you the asshole for not doing that? No, those are your priorities. If you have a child who is in need and who's literally in the hospital, like, I'm not going to have a go at you. And I don't think it's fair for your sister to have a go at you after learning that it was minor, because you weren't to know that it was minor. That's why you went. At the same time though, just being very honest, I think I would have felt a little bit disappointed if my only family, my twin sister, didn't come back after learning that it was a minor injury. I certainly wouldn't have flipped out. So, okay, no, I don't think you're the asshole, but would I have done something different? Probably, but that's just the kind of person I am. Let's see what other people have to say. Not the arsehole. OP's sister decided to make the wedding even for the maid of honour and sister child-free. This is what can happen under those circumstances and should have been thought about. Very true. And we know of some people where really close people haven't been able to attend because they don't have people like in-laws or babysitters to look after their kids. It's just one of the parents coming and then the entire family and the other half of that couple being left behind because they have to look after the kids. If something goes wrong, you've chosen for it to be child-free, there you go. In what world is a wedding more important than the possible serious injury or worse of your baby? Hell, if one of my nieces got a head injury, I'd leave my own wedding to go to the hospital too. Totally agree with this, and this is what I'm saying, like, perspective. I get it, it's supposed to be like the biggest, most important day, but like, come on, really think about what's important here. The health and safety of your loved ones is the most important thing. Having said that, I wouldn't be doing what this person said. I don't think I would have left my wedding unless I heard that it was super serious and bad. I'd be like, maid of honour, sister, go see your son, you little weirdo, go right now. Why are you even here? Go. And then I would be asking for updates, and if kid is stable and okay, as was in this circumstance, I would continue knowing happily that that is being sorted. Does that make sense? The irony of it, someone says, the sister whining about being abandoned when that's what she wanted her sister to do to her son. I mean, where's the lie? Or someone else says, everybody sucks here. Your sister's quite the bridezilla. Your husband could have gone to be with your son whilst you stayed with your sister. Your husband would have told you if it was an emergency, which it really wasn't. All in all, a tricky situation, but not a hard decision in my honest opinion. I don't agree with this person. I agree that the situation sucks, but I do think that that was a hard decision and I wouldn't have blamed my sister for going to her son's aid. Whoa. Should we do another one? Let's hope this one isn't as tricky. Am I the asshole for wanting my daughter to make my wedding cake, although my future husband is refusing? That sounds sad. That sounded so cute. And I was like, why would you refuse? Unless your kid is like 2 and doesn't know how to bake. Let's see. I, 36, have a daughter, 16, so not 2, who loves baking, and she's incredibly good at it. It's her passion since she was 3, and I encourage her to follow it and discover more ways to become better. I even enrolled her in a few classes in academy to learn more. That is so sweet. Why wouldn't you let your kid do your wedding cake? I met my fiance, 41, 2.5 years ago. We're getting married soon, and for the wedding cake, I had an idea, which was to have my daughter bake the cake and decorate it for us. My daughter agreed and was so excited to do it. My fiance glanced at me when he heard, and then when we were alone, he snapped and said, I can't believe you're being serious about this. I told him, why not? It's not like we're having a huge formal wedding with many guests, just a small party with our family and loved ones. Even if it was a huge formal wedding with many guests, let the kid do the cake. That's what you want. He said this was an effing joke and that he will not let a child bake our wedding cake, whilst there's tons of professional bakers out there who can make a much more decent looking or tasting one. Feel like I can spot the asshole. I said I didn't understand the problem because I thought he loved her baking. He responded, I do love what she bakes, but let's just stick to the muffins and brownies, eh? I told him he was being unreasonable and that his words were hurtful to me and my daughter and her abilities. He told me to be more realistic and think about what the guests will say. I said all the guests and family are friends, so I doubt they'd make negative comments about the cake knowing my daughter made it. Matter of fact, they might even think it's sweet. I think it's sweet. Also, what's to say what a professional baker is? Your kid's 16. They could absolutely be running a business baking cakes. They've gone to classes, been very passionate about this. What is your husband's problem? He got mad and said there was nothing sweet about getting embarrassed on his wedding day. Ooh, that clearly hurt you. Put it in italics, babe. I feel you. I see why. We argued for over 2 hours just going back and forth on the issue. Later I got a call from his mother telling me that I should start being rational and look at things from her son's perspective. Wow. Husband of 41 is running to mum. Whoa. She suggested we get a professional cake for the wedding and then have my daughter maybe bake some cupcakes for the buffet. But I wasn't convinced. I felt like they were deciding my wedding plans for me and forcing what they want on me. 1 second. I'm totally with you. I'm on your side, babe. I do think that your husband-to-be is being very irrational. I don't like the way that he's approaching you about this, or the fact that he's run to mummy to ask for help. But what I'm seeing from both of you, I'm just calling it out because it needs to be called out, is a lot of my wedding, my wedding. He's going, his wedding. You've just said, my wedding. It's both of your weddings. You're both getting married, right? So I get it. If you want your daughter to bake the cake and he's acted out so irrationally, that speaks to values that you guys need to have a chat about, right? But he's also entitled to do that because it's his wedding too. So like this idea of like, I should win. No, I should win. There should be some form of compromise. Just put that out there. I don't care how the cake will look, but it's a sentiment I care about. And I think that's very sweet. Honestly, I struggle with these scenarios because, and how long have you guys known each other? 2.5 years. I'm going off piste here. And this may be controversial. I know for a fact that if I wanted something like that, I would know what Jamie's answer would be. Like, I understand where his values lie, that I would never expect something like this to, what's the word? Take me by surprise. Do you see what I mean? And so things like this really sadden me because it's not about the cake. In this situation, it's about sentiment versus superficial looks. It's about what do you value most? Something looking great for other people or something that is meaningful? And I feel like that is such a big ingrained value to disagree on, and then to go running to mummy as a 41-year-old to try and convince your wife that her kid... Oh my god, I get concerned. I'm like, that's a little red flag that is a waving that you need to figure out. I do think your husband-to-be is displaying a lot of very arseholey tendencies, but I also recognise that this is both of your weddings, and I'm thinking maybe you're not recognising that. I don't think you're being a bridezilla. I just think there's like poor communication and understanding of what wedding decisions should be in general. From both parts, mostly husband-to-be. But also slightly from you. He snapped. He said this was an effing joke. His words were hurtful to me and my daughter. He got mad. You really want to marry this guy? Not the arsehole, says somebody. 37,000 upvotes on that. Ooh, here you go. Everyone sucks here. It's both of your weddings and neither of you seem to understand that. I'm glad someone else picks up on that frustration. And don't forget crying to mummy when he didn't get his way. That to me, like... No. You need to work on your communication. That is not what you do. Somebody suggests try a compromise. You can get your daughter to make a cake as a trial run or perhaps a cake for the wedding but not the official wedding cake. You're supposed to be adults going into a partnership. You need to find compromise on more than just the big day. Totally agree. And actually that's a brilliant idea. Loads of people do trial runs and pictures and see portfolios. Like it's not an unreasonable thing to ask of. Oh, just a messy situation. Overall though, babe, I don't think you're the asshole, but you're not totally blameless. Oh dear, I feel so mean. Let me know what you think down below. Let's move on real quick. Am I the asshole for refusing to be a bridesmaid because of the dress? I, 29-year-old woman, am overweight. It's something I'm working on and I'm very much not comfortable in my body. But again, it's a work in progress. I'm sorry you feel that way, my love. My friend, 30-year-old, is getting married in a couple months in a pretty informal wedding, but still asked me and a few others to be bridesmaids, and I agreed, of course. A week ago, my friend sent pictures of the dresses she was thinking about. My friends voted on this long-sleeved, skin-tight dress. I wouldn't be comfortable in the dress as it's too tight, both in terms of physical comfort and mental comfort. I voiced my opinions and why, and my friends all said that they liked the dress the most, and the bride-to-be said that since all of my friends agreed on this one, we had to pick it. I asked her if I could wear a similar dress of my own that's more comfortable. It's in a similar shade of green that my friends chose for the dress, so I could still be there, but also be comfortable. My friend told me that the day isn't about me, and that I'll just have to put up with being uncomfortable for an evening. Run! Run! This is not your friend! This is not your friend! I told her it would be genuinely embarrassing for me to wear that dress, and since I respect her day, I'm just going to withdraw from being a bridesmaid so my discomfort doesn't overshadow her. You are too kind. You are far more polite than I would have been. But no, that is a diplomatic and correct thing to do. Well done for not slapping her. That's all I'm gonna say, okay. I said the dresses were pretty and I understand why they chose them, but I'm not willing to wear it. I then said there's no hard feelings. I'm not mad, I understand, but they have to understand why I'm uncomfortable. The bride-to-be messaged me the next day saying that I embarrassed her in the group chat and that she doesn't understand why I'm so opposed to it. Sorry. You embarrassed her on the group chat where you said you don't feel comfortable and she said, be uncomfortable, it's my day, it's not about you. I explained once again that the dress was too tight and would be unflattering and uncomfortable for me. She then got mad and said now either her fiancé will have to drop a groomsman or she has to find another bridesmaid. No. I apologise for causing her strife. You don't need to apologise. This is like prime bridezilla. I've been shunned by all the bridal party since. Am I the arsehole? Babe, you are not the arsehole. Oh my goodness, you're not the arsehole. Big no arsehole here. That bride is such a oh my goodness, could you imagine? Could you just imagine for 1 second thinking that the uniformity of fabric is more important to you than the comfort of a literal loved one. Could you imagine having a go at someone for having the vulnerability to tell you that they're not comfortable and would rather prioritize you on the special day and therefore not ruin this stupid, perfect uniform image you had in your mind, and then saying to that person that they embarrassed you? That is so embarrassing for this bride. I hope the bride sees this forum and sees the level of crap that I hope they receive. Not the arsehole, the bride is a jerk. I'm not even going to look further, because you are totally a jerk, bride. I hope you recognise that. I hope you recognise how utterly selfish, obnoxious and ridiculous you have been. And the other bridesmaids who are now shunning this poor person. OP, you're not the asshole. If I were you, I wouldn't even be going to that wedding. If whatever you did, I hope you are comfortable in anything that you wear for the rest of your days, that you are never forced to present in a way that you don't want to, because it's your body, babe, and you don't have to. And I hope you find some better friends who actually love and respect and support you for you, because this bride needs to go in the bin. Simple as that. Should we do one more? Let's do one more. Am I the arsehole for not letting my fiancé have a woman as his best man at our wedding? What is wrong with these brides? I don't understand. Let's read. Let's read before we make a judgment. I, 28-year-old woman, am getting married this coming March to a wonderful man, 32-year-old, named Philip. We've been together for 3 years and I can't wait to begin this new chapter of our lives. Wedding planning has been going on, and when the topic of maid of honour and bridesmaids came up, I already had my picks. I asked Phil about his best man and groomsmen invites, and he said he's thinking about it. He doesn't have a lot of family, so I thought he'd ask his male friends from work or college to do the job. The next day he comes up to me and says that he actually thought about it and would want Catherine, late 30s, to be his best man because she's his really good friend, and this would be like a gesture for expressing his gratitude to her. Her and Phil have known each other for quite some years, and she's helped him through some rough times in the workplace, as well as when his mum passed. This was all before he met me. Why do you have a problem with this, babe? What's your problem? Catherine works with Phil, different departments, I think. She's an admin, she's a very nice lady. I've met her. I've never doubted their relationship. It seems genuine and sweet, but I'm not too sure about wanting her as a best man because my family's traditional and would frown upon this. Is your family getting married to Phil? Is your family choosing a best man? No. You and Phil are getting married, and he's choosing his loved ones that make him feel most supported and happy throughout the day, because that is what it's all about, feeling comfortable and feeling like you got people you can trust, and you're choosing your side to do the same. So who the hell do you think you are choosing who your partner's people should be? Sorry? What? Oh, I feel spicy. I want my wedding day to be perfect, and I'm sure this would cause discontent. When I brought my concerns to Phil, he became upset and said that it was our day and we shouldn't care about others. You can learn a thing or two from your husband-to-be, babe. Well, I think it's easy for him to say this because he doesn't have a big family, so he doesn't understand the dynamics. He doesn't need to. You need to understand who you're marrying and where your priorities lie. I, on the other hand, am very connected with my family, extended as well, and I'd want that they also have a perfect day. Anyway, I told him to pick his friend Dan for the job and that we'll send Catherine a special invite to express our love. What does a special invite look like? And who are you to tell someone else who their best person should be? I feel so shady. This is what I'm saying. This would never happen. If I would never put myself in a position where I was having a relationship with someone and was about to marry someone who would have this kind of hold or feel like they could have that kind of hold over me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just... That's such a big flag to me. It's about you feeling like your views are more important than mine about who supports me, and that you're doing that to prioritise your family over us. Like, what? What? I would not be marrying this person. Maybe that sounds really dramatic. I feel so bad for saying that, but like, what? He didn't argue then, but he's now giving me the silent treatment and doesn't even say goodbye when leaving for work. Maybe, babe, because he's trying to communicate with you, and when he does, you shut him down and act like you're his mother, giving orders that you are not allowed to give, and so he doesn't know how to talk to you. I feel like I'm being accommodating, because as I said, we'll send her a special invite. What does this mean? Although my friend says that I'm being inconsiderate of his feelings, but my mother says I did right. So people are Reddit, am I the arsehole? The biggest arsehole, babe. You are the biggest arsehole in this situation. You are the arsehole. You didn't do right. Your family sound like they suck and have old values that you have unfortunately learnt that you need to unlearn to be as kind and respectful as your partner, Phil, seems to be. This is coming out significantly more aggressive than I thought it would, but the sentiment remains the same. Let's see if other people share my sentiment. Maybe I'm really off here. You're the arsehole. You're the arsehole. Yeah, no. Everyone's saying you're the arsehole. Why are you gatekeeping the size of your fiancé's family relative to his feelings about the wedding? He doesn't get an equal say because your family's bigger? It's just so weird. Why are you willing to sacrifice his feelings to appease your family, especially at your big age? Oh, No! It's always easier when the family's happy, but this is where you aren't willing to compromise. Having someone who means a lot to your fiancé stand next to his side as he declares his love for you. The people you choose for your wedding party aren't there for their family, they're there for you. Exactly! Lol, a special invite. That's the same as inviting them to be in your bridal party. The woman who comforted your fiancé when his mother passed gets a special invite because you don't want to upset grandma. What are you gonna do? Put glitter on it? Oh no. Your fiancé deserves better. He really does. I'm not suggesting that you need to not be in a relationship. I'm suggesting you grow, babe. I'm hoping you see the responses on this forum and other people who might be in a similar position who feel like they have some say. I don't know if it's because women feel like they're like, oh, weddings, it's all about me. No. Relationships are about equality and teamwork and joint decision making, and a wedding is supposed to embrace all of those wonderful things. And if you feel like you can have a say over your husband to appease your feelings and your family's feelings, which is the weirdest part about it, over his feelings for his moment, his part of that day, that's not okay, babe. Do better. Do better. Call me crazy, but wouldn't a perfect wedding include the groom being supported by the most important people in his life, regardless of their sex or gender identity? You're the asshole. Well, we found some assholes today for sure. As I said though, hopefully this isn't just tea and drama. And to give the assholes that we have found credit, they are looking for advice, and I really hope they are able to grow from these experiences and just realise that ultimately the pressure that society puts on us for having this perfect wedding and the way things are supposed to be mean absolutely nothing. It's about the two of you. It's about a celebration of yourselves, and you deserve to have that jointly and respectfully. And perhaps in kinder words than I have been in today's video, the people on the forums are able to explain that to you. Yes, you may be an asshole, but I'm grateful that you are trying to not be an asshole and to understand, right, whether you're an asshole, to hopefully correct your assholiness. So for all of you, I hope you had a good wedding. If it went ahead, if you are happy, I still maintain we need updates from these posts. Updates, people! If you agreed with me or didn't agree with me, let me know downstairs. We'll have a kind, respectful discussion about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I will see you again very soon. Be kind and have a great day. Bye!